Oh boy, it is time to podcast. Let's get this bad boy fired up. Yeah. Hit the record button and we are live. I just gotta crack this fucking brewski open because it is a million fucking degrees in here. And I had to turn off the AC because it's making a shitload of noise. I gotta clean the filter. I think that's why it's noisy, but anyway. Yeah, Savage Sacktap. Whoop! Video style. I'm all over the fucking place. I just got back from the gym, so I'm super amped up. Yeah. Anyway, I got to speak with a nice. By the way, if you're watching the video, and it looks like I'm looking down, not paying attention to you can probably see the reflection of the computer screen in my shades. This is the first run of this episode, so gotta have my fucking show notes with me. Sorry, too fucking bad. Fuck your eye contact. Anyway, do it to it. I got to speak with a very nice Indian man the other day. My credit card was fraudulently used at a Macy's in upstate New York. Well, while your boy here was in Jersey City, so I got the text alerting me to the suspicious charge with a link to click. Hopped online and called the 800 number. I refuse to click any link unless I absolutely know who it's from. And for all I know, this was like some fucking Moldovan teenager trying to hack my phone. I look at way too much porn on my phone to take that kind of risk. And I don't need some communist creep accessing my camera while I'm fucking just rubbing one out in the bathroom of a Starbucks during my lunch break. He uploads it to masturbatingtwinks.ukraine. That would not be good for my reputation. No, sir. So anyway, I called the 800 number and a nice Indian man answered. He said, "Yes, Mr. Monton, did you charge 100? It was $167 on shoes and lingerie at a Macy's in upstate New York." And I said, "Absolutely the fuck not. I buy my G-strings at Victoria's Secret like a classy bitch." Was that a good Indian accent? I don't. Probably not. It was probably fucking terrible. Anyway, they were good. Amex is cool. They axe the charges. That's why I use American Express everywhere, by the way. If you just use a credit card and it gets stolen, they just kill the charge. But if it's your fucking debit card that gets jacked, then they can get your cash. Fuck that. And I think I've told the story on the show before. I was stationed in Okinawa. This dude, fucking G.I. just knocked over G.I. Joe. He was double teaming a Rastafarian with a overgrown frog. Anyway. I'm fucking up all over the place today. Anyway, I think I've told the story on the show before about how you would think a fucking table wouldn't have a crossbar on the bottom, by the way, which is why that chain of events just played out. I have a rolly chair, and I was trying to scooch up a little bit. I guess the better move is just to bring the computer back, but then Mr. Shit emoji falls. This is just a fucking disaster. Anyway, I had just gotten back to Okinawa from, this is, where the fuck was I? Look at this just terrible chain of events, fucks everything up. But then, okay, yeah, the story about my buddy getting ripped off by the hookers in Taipei. I just gotten back to Okinawa from Iraq, and I was sent to the same unit as my rack mate from OCS. So me, and for the sake of anonymity, I mean, some of you are gonna, if you know who he is, you've heard this fucking story before. No one else knows. We'll call this other guy the Vag, just to keep it nice and anonymous. But anyway, me, the Vag, and two other guys go to Taipei, Taiwan for Thanksgiving. It's like a 2-hour flight from Oki. Now, Okinawa attracts a fair amount of like European, Australian, and Americans doing their study abroad. And the Vag, he fancies himself a ladies' man and decides he's in the mood to go hit on some co-eds, but he keeps getting shot down. And I'm fucking exhausted we had a super early PT session, and I was on vacay, so obviously I was drinking all day. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm tapping out. And he starts calling me a pussy and mocking me, and his voice was like this high-pitched squeal. It was almost like, if you can imagine what Porky Pig would sound like if he was getting sodomized. Like, Monto, you're a fucking pussy, man. I'm staying out here. I'm getting laid. You'll see. I'm like, alright, whatever. Good luck, dude. Anyway, jump in the cab, head back to the hotel, and I get in bed assuming that this dumbass is going to strike out. So, imagine my surprise when I wake up across the room from an empty bed, and then hear the door to the suite open up, and out in the living room, the Vag begins regaling our buddy Bono with his tale from the night before. He has also apparently brought a young Asian woman back to the hotel with him. An Asian woman to whom he keeps repeating the phrase, "You just fucked a future U.S. Senator. How do you feel about that?" I'm serious. His voice was that irritating. I'm not fucking making it up. Personally, I think he's a bad guy. Actually, kind of like the dude, as much of a lunatic as he was, but that fucking voice. Anyway, he explained to Bono that he had just engaged in group intercourse with the young woman and several of her friends. And I was hungover as shit and in absolutely no mood to deal with this motherfucker's gloating. I also found the story highly dubious, but figured that it would be easier to get to the bottom of everything with a clear head. Wanted to catch another hour or so of Z's before I had to do any sleuthing on this one. So, when he burst into the bedroom and shouted, "You hear that, Montown? I had an orgy last night," I just fucking pretended to be asleep, because, you know when you're just in... I was like a basic bitch. I was like, I can't even right now. I so can't even. We eventually got up and had to catch a tour bus to go do some sightseeing. So we head across the street to get money for the day, and he's just telling and retelling the story in his orgy, future U.S. Senator, orgy, future U.S. Senator, over and fucking over, and just will not shut the fuck up. We get to the ATM, and he tries several times unsuccessfully to withdraw cash. Finally, he decides to call his bank, and that is when I saw the joy and glee of a man who had just had a Pacific Rim pussy festival change to a man the joy... What the fuck? God damn it. Fucking shitty show notes. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah. The joy and glee of a man who had just engaged in an absolute Pacific Rim pussy festival drift to the look of a man who had just found out that he had been robbed of thousands of dollars by a group of Filipino hookers. Things had been going so nice and smoothly until that little stutter. Yeah, fuck me. Anyway, you see, what happened is, after I left the Vag at the bar, he opened up a tab and he was drinking by himself. Now, you have to understand that the Vag is like the ultimate mark. He just stands out like a sore thumb to every charlatan and ne'er-do-well on the planet. He dresses like a father of three with a schooner and a summer home on Nantucket, and he looks like kind of like an alcoholic Andy Bernard managed to father a child with Milhouse Van Houten. So picture that person, and you've got the Vag. Anyway, he's got a tab open at the bar, and this Filipino chick gets a couple drinks out of him before leading him into some sort of boom room with her and her friends. And I guess they all took turns filleting him, and as that was going on, the bartender was running up a tab at businesses all over town with the Vag's debit card, just calling up car dealerships, clothing stores, you name it, wherever his buddies worked, they fucking spent it. So, the Vag shoots his load, closes off his tab, rides off into the night feeling absolutely indestructible. Meanwhile, he has been burned in more ways than one. So, we get back to Okinawa. We've had to spot him cash throughout the entire fucking vacation. Got to spot him cash out in Oki because it takes like 2 weeks to get a new debit card out there because the mail out there just doesn't move at an American pace. So we're spotting him cash for a few weeks, and And he's blowing it at the bar, by the way. So in no way did I feel bad when, right around the time the new car arrived, he also started to piss razor blades. Just couldn't have happened to a better person. The Vag was an odd guy. And this entire episode is going to be about odd guys. In particular, Mr. Mark Redwine, who allegedly murdered his son after the lad happened upon some, well, let's just call them disturbing pictures of his old man. That's coming up in a few minutes. First, though, I have to vent once again about this fucking asshole in the locker room at Retro Fitness here in Hoboken. Now, there are a lot of assholes in the locker room at Retro, but this guy is, like, above and beyond the fucking worst. And I'm sure he's just, like, a perfectly nice person, but it's this Hispanic dude. He is just completely ignorant as to the concept of personal space. And I guess when you fucking come over here on a rowboat, that's, oh, you can't say that. That's so tone deaf. Anyway, I usually grab a locker that's as far away from everyone else as possible. You know, all the way at the end, tuck myself into the corner. Because, I like to shower, clean up at the gym before heading into work, right? Give me a nice space to get everything taken care of, get out of the fucking way. Anyway, I'm there, taking my clothes off in the corner, getting ready to shower, and this fucking guy sidles right up to me and grabs the locker, like, 2 down from mine. He probably would have gone to the one right next to me, but I think it was taken. Anyway, completely empty locker room. Dozens of other options. He could have taken any other locker, and he chose that one. That's like using an adjacent urinal, only worse. At least with the urinal, it's like a 30-second process. There's probably a wall there. Nobody's really exposed. I was literally getting ass naked. And this fucking guy posts up next to me. Doesn't get changed and go to work out, mind you. Just fucking plops right down, starts eating, and gets fucking settled in to watch a movie on his phone in the locker room. There's a fucking cardio theater that shows movies on a big screen at Retro Fitness. There's not even air conditioning in the fucking locker room. It's just a humid, stinky, pube-filled environment, and this jackass has taken it upon himself to turn it into a fucking Lowe's Cineplex. I leave and go shower for 5-10 minutes, however the fuck long people shower at the gym. I get out, and he's still there. I didn't even have to turn the fucking corner out of the shower. I could hear that sound of his spoon hitting plastic, like he's trying to get every last drop. This lunatic was savoring his locker room pube meal. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck does that? So, I figure, alright, maybe he's almost done. I'll dry off in here in the shower room. It's a little, dank and damp in there, but whatever. At least, I don't have to go fucking anus out in front of some guy who's feasting away, like some fucking weirdo. It rubs the lotion on its skin. Oh, figured he'd be gone by the time I got back to my locker. I was sorely mistaken. So I walk out, nothing but a towel because I just gotten out of the fucking shower, and he begrudgingly moves his picnic a whole 3 inches so I can access my locker, and then goes back to watching Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever the fuck he had going on his phone. And then the meal isn't over. He starts peeling a fucking banana. He was consuming a multi-course meal in the locker room. And I get, maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe he's a student or he's, like a busboy on his break from work and doesn't have anywhere else to eat. Yeah, I'm going to debunk that one. First of all, every Retro Fitness has a designated area out front where you can sit down, you want to fire back a quick snack, drink a shake, whatever. He chose to ignore that. Secondly, it's fucking Hoboken, and it was a beautiful day. He could have walked a fucking block to the waterfront and eaten this meal with a spectacular view of the New York City sky, and he obviously had time to do it. He was sitting down, consuming a leisurely meal. Inside of my personal space, in a disgusting locker room. taking his sweet-ass time. He could have walked to the riverfront and looked at the sky. People literally pay extra to dine at restaurants and live in apartments on the Hudson River so they can observe this skyline while eating. This fucking creep decides to eat in a cock and anus-filled locker room at Retro Fitness. So, you know, I did the only thing there was that was left to do. You know, if he wanted to dine in a sack and rectum-filled environment, ooh, a little money shot there, then that's what he was gonna get. So I dropped trow, just fucking guns blazing, 2 feet away from this motherfucker, and he was completely unfazed. Didn't even flinch. Male anus some 24 inches away as he's snacking, and it doesn't even fucking register. Check and mate, sir. I don't even know what to do next time. I guess, like, my options are farting, and if that doesn't work, like, slip some rat poison into his Greek yogurt. Like, I feel like if you came upon this video and you were like, well, it shows premeditation, yeah, but come on, Chief. This one was totally justifiable. This guy, he had it coming. Oh my. Speaking of justifiable homicide, we're going to talk about the guy whose son found pictures of him wearing a diaper and eating his own shit. Yeah, he killed that boy. But first, the social media plug. You can find us on Facebook. It is facebook.com/thesavagecrew. On Instagram, it is @Gary_Moiler. And on Twitter, you can find me @MikeMontone and @TheSavageCrew. We also have a YouTube channel. Please search The Savage Sacktap and then click on one of the big penis silhouettes. It'll take you right to the page. If you happen to be watching the video segment right now, very sorry to say that our time together has come to an end, but it does not have to. Please be my guest and catch the rest of the episode at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com or head on over to www.thesavagecrew.com. That's where you can find all our stuffs. This one is titled, what's the title of this one? Shit-Eating Grin, The Savage Sacktap. Shit-Eating Grin. You can find that at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com. We're also in the Stitcher app and in Podbean. Coming soon to the iTunes store, hopefully. But that's that for the video portion. Continuing now with the rest of the recorded podcast. Okay, bye.